Bravo 5 Delta.
Bravo 5 Delta, 2 kilometers, 5 for Bravo 10. 235, Alpha Papa. Antalya-Istanbul, hoşçakalın, Takeoff.minute, Alpha Papa.
37 Charlie, hello, descend 10,000 feet, QNH 1028.
10,000, QNH 1028, 37 Charlie.
36 uniform. After incoming traffic to November 9er, pushback startup approach, face to south, type of aircraft Boeing 738.
After incoming traffic to November 9er, pushback and startup approach, facing south 36 uniform copy.
37 Golf Mike, 8,000 feet, QNH 1028.
8,000 feet, 1028, 37 Golf Mike. İyi günler Apache, 4 Lima Charlie.
4 Lima Charlie devam et.
Tamam, şu an 223 numaralı körükteyiz. Sesle maçlı bir motor çalıştırmak istiyoruz.
Anlaşıldı. Düşük takatlıklarda bitecek.
Teşekkürler efendim.
For direct Bravo Alpha 761.
Bravo 761, direct flight to Bravo. Şu anda durabilir miyim? Operasyonla görüşüyoruz. Size tekrar bilgi verdim efendim.
Anlaşıldı. Teşekkürler.
Sana bakalım. Pushback approach, face Turkish to Antalya.
Vacate runway via Alpha 3, taxi down runway 35 right, Alpha 1, hold short runway 17 right.
Vacating via Alpha 3, taxi runway 35 right to Alpha 1, Echo Charlie, Mike Alpha November.
Yes, sir. Contact 121 on the back.
121 bye-bye, 6414.
E5 left, Turkish 3 America.
Ground çalışmalar Turkish 9 Mike position 103 Recurrent Delta Contact.
Turkish 9er incline line, pushback startup approach, position 3.
Şu an start approach, position 3 Turkish 9 Mike. 0 or 762?
760.
760, operasyonel şartlar el veriyor. Tekrar startup ve pushback startup istiyoruz.
Turkish 6 uniform whiskey, pushback startup approach, face to south.
Pushback startup approach, face to south 36 uniform.
Hotel Turkish 1 heavy search island 35 left 9 given.
Turkish 1 heavy, you can continue for 35 left.
Copy Approach 95 letters, not ready.
Ground Turkish 6, Delta Kilometer sonra TK841 ve pushback and startup.
Turkish Girl, merhabalar. Pushback startup approach, face to south.
Pushback startup approach, face to south 36 Delta Kilometer. Before push and start.
Hello, good day. Here's BullBosphorus again, reflying the flight TK841 from Antalya to Istanbul. Welcome on board.
Echo Charlie, Mike Alpha November. Located.
9 Papa Charlie, reach 35 kilometers, 1 runway 35 left. Papa Charlie, Mike Alpha November, 3121.
turning on the lights in the cabin.
Turkish Zero Echo, merhabalar, identified. Turkish 78 Charlie, direct Bravo for 763, descend 8,000 feet.
Direct Bravo Alpha 763 and 8,000.
Queen Charlie to the flight via Delta, Foxtrot, Takeoff.
LTAI. We're on gate. It's 26.
Merhaba İstanbul, Bunlar 155. Honda ile runway 35 and 7 miles out.
Only 155, that's what you get on runway 25.
Bunlar 155.
Pistimiz kalkış 3-6 olacaktır. LTBA yapalım. İstanbul TK841. Runway 36 center departure olacaktır. Büyük ihtimal. Um 855'ten önce silelim bunu. Departure'ı dolduralım. 36 center departure from XN 1 Bravo. 855 UA16 dolduralım ve Dekek'ten Approach'a geçeceğiz İstanbul'a. Dekek Arrival Route, İstanbul Arrival Route'ya bastığınızda ILS 05 Dekek 1 Alpha Dekek activate executing override the CI05 over vectors and execute. There is another airplane taxiing on the ground. Cyprus Airlines. Flight level 320, we're filling in that, and speed restrictions 240 below 10,000 feet. So it's done, cruise level, it's automatically, and descending speed will be 280. We need 4,500 kilogram of fuel. the payload. Today we have 100 passengers. So fill in 95 to the coach class and 5 to the first class. Actually we need 53.3 or 52.7 of zero fuel weight. So we're gonna fill in the cargo forward and after. Oh, that's okay. Let's starting the APU.
Merhabalar. 109er via Delta. Bravo 5 Delta.
From contact Istanbul 11935, bye-bye.
11935, bye-bye.
Monitor 11375, iyi uçuşlar.
Okay.
Monitor 11375, iyi uçuşlar. Runway Echo 3, will you try again?
Taxi 724 direct Bravo Alpha 762 and maintain airspeed.
Direct Bravo Alpha 762.
Go to the unit ref. We're filling the zero fuel weight. That's 52.4 and reserve 2.0. And the cost index is always for this airliner 50. Transition altitude using flight.minute. Climb power 1. Take off with flaps 5. Erdi hocam hoş geldiniz. Kaptanım iyi uçuşlar demiş. Teşekkürler. Enjoy the flight. Erdi kaptan. Arkadaşlar paylaşım yapmayı unutmayın. Uçuşumuz daha henüz başlamadı. Antalya Havaalanı'ndan İstanbul Havaalanı'na uçuşumuz birazdan. Yaklaşık 10-15 dakikaya. V-speedlerimizi ayarlıyoruz. V1, VR, rotate speed and V2 speed also set. Going to the next page. There is some wind from 360 at 17 knots. So we have got a headwind at the takeoff. It says speed, takeoff speeds deleted, so we're gonna fill in that again. V1 and V2 and rotate speed. Taking off with safety speed 154. Doing some fire test. Siz de Dalaman İzmir uçuş yapıyorsunuz. Ivao'dan mı uçuyorsunuz kaptan? Preta Jugon, hey everybody. Hello, welcome captain and enjoy the flight. We are in the cockpit of 737. As you know, yesterday Flight simulator crashed. We have a fatal error, so we're restarting the flight, and hopefully today it's a lucky day today for us. And enjoy the flight for 46 minutes to Istanbul. Welcome aboard. A speed test, left and right, all working. So it started. Evet, FS Cloud'dan uçuşunuz. So there we go. Let's say if there is an ATC, first of all we're looking that there is OSTT control, so that's too far with 350 nautical miles. So we have not ATC at this moment. So we're flying on Unicom 122.80 as you can see. And next what we need to do is check out, turn on the emergency exit lights. Turning on the upper panel lights also, and I want to start with just a moment. Starting up the Turkish Airlines flight data recorder. So we started the flight and the recorder is just working now. Firstly we turn on the lights, the logo lights and steady lights, wing lights and the wheel lights. Okay, we're going with further with the checklist, pre-flight checklist, voice recorder turning on. It's on. And we have oxygen test. Doing the oxygen test. Working 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches normal auto. Passenger signs. Turn it on. And attending the flight attendant. Window heat. Turn it on. We're turning on the window heat. Now pressurization panel. Set, mode selector and auto. It's also done. Flight instruments, heading, altitude set. This is also set. Turning on the flight directors. It's done. Engine start levers cut off. As you can see, it's cut off. taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Yes, we know where we go. After pushback and startup, we go to the left and with parallel with the runway 36 center and then taking off it this way. So we're good. Doing the before startup checklist. All doors and windows closed and locked. So we're gonna check if everything is closed and locked. No, not. Forward entry and forward cargo and after cargo is open, so we closing first that. Let's look at the outside. Door is open, so we have to close that. As you can see, the cargo doors are open, so we have to close that. This one also. So going to the doors and FS actions, doors, and we're closing the forward entry and the cargo. Close cargo forward and after cargo door. As you can see, everything is closed. And we're jumping back to the panel and looking, voila, it's closed. There is no light illuminating now. So we're gonna further with the checklist. Fuel Gerogram pumps on. So we're turning on the fuel pumps. Hydraulic panel as required. MCP V2 heading alt set and checked. Set and checked. Takeoff speeds V1 rotate and V2 checking the speeds is not filled in. So we're gonna check that again. So it should be set now. Yes, it is set. As you can see, there it is, the speeds. Further, CDU pre-flight completed. Rudder and aileron trims 3 and 0. Takeoff briefing review completed. So the next step is turning on the anti-collision lights and packs off. Before we do that, checking again if there is an other ATC online at this field. Not yet. So we're gonna go further to the next point. And people who's watching now, don't forget to like my videos. It's below the video. Please like my video. Arkadaşlar, videomu beğeni atmayı unutmayın. Aşağıda beğeni linki var. Lütfen beğeni atın. Çok teşekkürler. Ve devam ediyoruz. Anti-collision lights turning on. Anti-collision light açtık. And packs turning off. Packs already turned off, so isolation valve auto and altitude to 320. And there it is. So the lights are turned on, so we have to start up our engines. Beginning with number 1. At 26, we are starting number 1. And you start lever number 1 up. And at 56% the engine number 1 completely started up, so we're waiting until 56.
Sayın yolcularımız lütfen dikkat. Uçuş ehliyetiniz için inişte, kalkışta ve kemer ikaz ışıkları yanarken kaset çalar, elektronik
Number 2,
oyunlar,
starting up.
taşınabilir bilgisayar, disk çalar, radyo ve televizyon alıcıları, taşınabilir video aletleri, DVD, VCD ve benzeri batarya
Engine number 2 start switches to ground.
Uçak içinde tüm uçuş boyunca radyo ve telsiz vericileri, taşınabilir telefonlar, uzaktan kumandalı oyuncaklar ve elektromanyetik dalga yayan tüm aletlerin kullanılması yasaktır.
And the other one at 26 starting up.
May I have your attention, please?
Also now 25,
The operation of the following items is forbidden
6,
during takeoff,
and
landing,
turn it
and
up.
when the seatbelt sign is on. Cassette players, electronic games, portable computers, compact disc players, radio and TV receivers, portable video.
Arkadaşlar birazdan sizlerle sohbet edeceğiz. Şu an bayağı yoğunuz kokpitte. O yüzden fazla chatte ilgi veremiyorum. Kusura bakmayın. For the people who's watching now, I can't answer now from the chat, so because we are really busy at the cockpit with checklists. So when we are at in the flight, at cruise or at climbing, we can chat enough with each other. So be patiently, and thank you very much. Okay. Engine number 1 and 2 are already started, so we're gonna go further with the before taxi, but we're gonna firstly go pushback. So turn off the handbrakes or the parking brakes. Starting the pushback. And starting turn. We're gonna stop the pushback, and don't forget the parking brake setting again. And now we're doing the before taxi checklist, and firstly of all the generators turning on. So we turn on the generators, turned on as you can see. Prop heat turning on. Prop heat turned on. Anti-ice as required, don't need that. Hydraulic panel set. And electric 1 and 2 turning on. PAX auto. Isolation valve auto. Engine start switches continuous. Continuous. Recall checked. Auto brake RTO. RTO set. Engine start levers idle detent. Idle and detent. Ground equipment No ground equipment, it's clear. Flight controls checked. Press this button, system, and then at the lower panel or display you can see left ailerons, right, elevator up, elevator down, neutral and rudder left, rudder right, rudder neutral checked. Taxi lights turn on. Turned on. And turning off the APU. And we are ready for taxi. And also we are setting flaps to 5. Releasing the parking brake. And we're gonna continuing our taxi to runway 36 center.
Sayın yolcularımız, kalkış öncesi uçağımızdaki bazı teknik konulara dikkatinizi çekmek istiyoruz. Tehlike çıkışlarını ve can yeleği kullanımını gösteren güvenlik kartlarını koltuk ceplerinde göreceksiniz. Uçağımızda 8 adet çıkış bulunur. Bunların ikisi ön bölümde, 4'ü orta bölümde, ikisi arka bölümde yer alır. Tehlike anında çıkış yönünüzü belirleyecek olan ikaz ışıkları koridor boyunca yerde ve kapıların üzerinde bulunmaktadır. Kemerleriniz gösterilen şekilde bağlanır, belinize göre ayarlanır ve açılır. Kabin basıncında bir değişiklik olursa başınızın üzerindeki kapaklar otomatik olarak açılacak ve oksijen maskesi ortaya çıkacaktır. Böyle bir durumda derhal en yakın maskeyi kendinize doğru çekiniz. Ağız ve burnunuzu içine alacak şekilde yüzünüze tutunuz. Lastiği başınızdan geçiriniz, normal nefes almaya devam ediniz. Çocuklu yolcularımızın önce kendi maskelerini, daha sonra çocuklarının maskelerini takmaları gerekmektedir. İlginize teşekkür ederiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we depart, we'd like to give some safety information about our aircraft. The safety instruction cards, which you'll find in your seat pockets, show the emergency exits and the use of life jackets. Our aircraft has 8 exits, 2 in the forward area, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the rear. The emergency lights that will lead you to the exits are located above the emergency exit doors, and the floor markings are through the aisle. Your belts are fastened, tightened, and unfastened as shown by the crew.
Now in English.
Should there be a loss of pressure in the cabin, oxygen masks will be automatically released from the service unit above your seats. In this case, pull the nearest mask, place it over your face, covering your nose and mouth, adjust the headband, and breathe normally. It is important that you attend to yourself first before helping your child. Thank you for your attention.
So there is the tower. Say hello to the tower. Alaikum salam. Adil B. You're welcome. Welcome to the flight from Antalya to Istanbul. Flight TK841. So we are at the end of the taxiway and we're gonna stop at the holding point, runway 36 center, and making the last checks before takeoff. Setting the parking brakes, and at this point we're gonna setting Charlie mode. It's also set to Charlie mode, so we're gonna line up runway 36 center and making the takeoff and sending with the text message. Before takeoff checklist, cabin report. Cabin crew yerlerinize. Cabin crew please on your place. Setting the left and right packs off. Flaps green light, yes. Stabilization trim units checked. Auto throttle arm. Position light strobe and steady. Strobe lights steady, and transponder TARA set, and releasing the parking brakes and lining up runway 36 center. And we are lined up, So we're gonna immediately making the takeoff. Thrust power set. $80 knots. V1, rotate. V2, positive rate, gear up. Turn on autopilot A. After takeoff, checklist. Engine start switches as required. We don't need that, so turn off. And engine bleeds on. And our speed raising up, so flaps 1. And flaps up. PEX auto. Landing gear up and off. Flaps up, no lights, checked. And RTO brakes setting off. After takeoff, checklist complete. Well, that was the takeoff, and we are now at the climbing stage. We're climbing to, at this moment, to flight level 100, so we have to pull it up to flight level 320. We do this 32000. Done. The clouds, beautiful. Pilot FC says he want to see it from outside. Tabii gösterebiliriz hocam, hemen gösterelim. Önce bir kanatlardan başlayalım. 10.000 feet'i geçelim önce, ondan sonra. Tamam, 10.000 feet'i geçtik. Işıklarımızı kapatalım diyecektim. Forget the takeoff light, so we will get penalty points for that. Onu kapattık şu an. Steady lights and turn off the wing and the wheel well off. Turn off. But holding the logo lights, so it's okay. Let's look from the window. A little bit turbulence, as you can see. It's the Turkish Airlines livery, very beautiful 737-800 model. Great to see it. Let's turn around the airplane. So we jump up in the cabin. Hey Omari Yosef, welcome. He says that's Luke's Georges. Thank you very much, my friend. We're started the flight 30 minutes ago. You know, yesterday we tried to fly the same flight, but there was something goes wrong. The flight simulator closes suddenly, and we will get a fatal error. So today we are continuing the same flight, TK841, Antalya to Istanbul with Turkish Airlines. As you can see, we're at climbing stage now. The climbing procedure and looking from the cabin around. You know, it's working. Everything is very well at this moment. Holding the altitude there, so we're gonna go direct to XN, so we're gonna climb further and executing. You can see the autopilot takes us up to flight level 320. It's climbing now, so all the passengers must be hold his seatbelt sign is at auto. And flying now at flight level 180, so we're gonna resetting the altimeters to standard set. And there we go. Looking in the AGS. Hey, cool gamer. This is not a game, man. This is a simulator. You know, this is a flight simulator, and it's different than normal games. You know, you have to learn much to fly this airplane, this simulator. So it is not so easy as you're thinking. But thank you for visiting and watching. Maybe you can learn, maybe for later, you know. And for who's watching this video, please like the video and let your friends know about this channel and let them subscribe to the channel. I'm doing every time my best to learn them something from the aviation, you know, and I'm so happy if I can do that and let you show you something about flying. and I love everything about aviation. So thank you for visiting and enjoy the flight. Thank you. And if you have any questions about how to do this or how to do that, let me know in the comment, and I will try to help you on making a different video for you with tutorials or some exciting videos. And now just enjoy it, and you can do everything with flying. You know, it's so free, and you're feeling some free. You know, and let's look where we are now at this moment. We are flying at Xen intersection and almost past flight level 270. So please share this video link to your friends or family who's loving the aviation. So let them join this simulator, and about I think 20 minutes we're gonna start our descending to our final destination. Let's look what time we're descending exactly. Let's look to the descent page. About 140 nautical miles. That's at 15:49 or 50:50 Zulu time. So it's about 60 minutes. About 60 minutes we're gonna start our descending. It's a short flight, you know, totally with 46 minutes trip flight. So just a moment. Radio check. Is my sound back? Voice check. Radio check. Radio check. Omari Yosef, can you hear me? Yes, I think my sound is back. So before we descending, we have to fill in our landing speeds. So we're looking to the FMC and going to the unit ref page. As you can see at the left side at 1, 2, 3, 4, left 4, you can see 110.30. That's the ILS code. We have to fill in that ILS code before we starting the descending. So we fill in that here to the standby mode 110.30. And when we press on this button, it will set it to active mode. So now it's active, the frequency code for ILS 05 for the landing. And we fill in that for also for the co-pilot 110.30 and placing to active. Now the ILS code is done and the course is 054, and we have to fill in that to this place 054, and also for the co-pilot 054 done. And the speeds we're selecting for flap 30, speed 136 and plus 5, so we have to fly with 141 knots for the landing speed. So everything is set and for the landing. And hopefully it's not so busy at the airport, but we're gonna see how busy it is. Still flying online at Ivao network, and you can see read the METAR from LTBA. The wind is coming from 360 at 13 knots, and we're gonna land at 05. So we're gonna get a little bit crosswind at the landing, and we have a maximum of 6 kilometers view. And I'm reading that there is some snow, so it's snowing, and some scattered clouds at 1,000 feet and broken clouds 2,500 feet at 0 degrees with QNH 1028. So we're gonna fill in that 1028 to the QNH. So the QNH is set to 1028. Now if you look to the navigation display, you see the green letters TD. That's the point where we're gonna start our descending. That's the top of the descent. And at this point, at the triangle, the white triangle, is the position where we at this moment actually flying. And when we reach the TD point, the airplane will start automatically descending. And before we can descend automatically, we have to fill in this altitude to lower than the current flight level. So that's 320, and we have to set it lower. Let's say we're flying setting to 120, and now it will do that automatically when they pass the TD. So everything looks great, and the sunset, you can see that it's going down. But it is very cold. Actually, it's at that moment, this moment, minus 29 through air temperature. But if we look to the progress page, we can see the temperature is minus 55, so that's very cold. So it's time to the seatbelts sign, turn it on. Attend the flight, attend. About 3 minutes we will start our descending. Descent checklist, pressurization panel, landing altitude set. That should be 150. So we're gonna do that to 150. It is actually 160, but in this mode is 150. And it's all about feet. So pressurization panel, landing altitude is set. Recall checked. Auto brake. We using auto brake 2. 1 and 2. So the auto brake is set. Looking to the landing data VREF minimum speeds, I filled it in. It was 141. It's actually 136, but you add 5 knots to this and it is 141, so that's okay. And if you look again to the FMC, you can see that the runway is short. It's 2.5 kilometers, about 8,465 feet. That's the length of the runway. It can be shorter than normal or medium runways. And continuing the descent approach, approach briefing is also completed, so the descent checklist is complete. Hello, SL preferred. He says no, but I don't understand what
Koltuklarınızı dik, masalarınızı kapalı duruma getirin. Teşekkür ederiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we are descending to land, please be seated, fasten your seatbelts, adjust your seats to the upright position, and close your tray tables. Thank you.
We're still descending and now at flight level 300. looking to some traffic message. Let's look how many fuel we have on board. We have in totally 2.1 fuel on board. It's left is 1.06 and right is 1.08. So totally 2.1, and that's 2,100 kilogram of fuel. Using a little bit spoilers to dropping down the speed. And closing the spoilers. So we passed the transition altitude, so we're gonna fill in pressing the standard knob and setting the QNH 1028. As you can see at the display, we're gonna fly via BA580 at this point, and then BA582, and then turning to left, and at the point we're turning to right, and then approaching 05 at an altitude of 2,600 feet. So we're a little bit too high, so we're gonna making a steep descending. Set the spoilers so we can brake while we descending faster. Spoilers up. Selecting to descend alt 5,000 feet. I set it on the this panel. Yeah, Omari, we are almost there. At this point we have to turn to left about few seconds. We're turning to left, as you see. There it is. But we have to slower a little bit because we are flying with 236 knots. And we have to fly with 220 at this point. And still reaching 10,000 feet, and at that altitude we have to turn on our landing lights and also the strobe lights, so we have to be careful and attendant at our altitude. And it's very hard to get the airplane on his speed while you're descending, and we're gonna try to hold our speed at the speed we want to holding. And I think we will gonna make a beautiful landing because there is some crosswind. The wind is coming from the north at 360 degrees with 17 knots, and we're gonna landing on 05, so we can get a little bit of turbulence and crosswind, you know, but it should be okay, and the captain will do that. And that was a sign for the landing lights. Turning on the landing lights, runway turn off lights, taxi lights turning on, and also turning on the position and strobe lights. Checking this doom white to dim, so you can watch with me. And we're gonna turn on the wing lights and the wheel lights. So we're flying below 10,000 feet now. And our speed is not what I expected, so we have to at a fast moment to get back to drop our speed. And if our speed is not dropped at the point that we should be turned, I will go fly straight until we're reaching our altitude, because then otherwise our approach speed will be higher than normal, and that's not allowed at this airport. Also another airspace airport. So we're gonna wait until we're reaching 2600. So I'm gonna selecting the heading select button. Still, spoilers are deployed. Okay, now we make the turn to right. Selecting from the heading selector. Let's say we turn to 025. And when we are almost at 025, we will turn a little bit more to right. And we have to watch out onto our speed. And don't forget our speed, because the ATR mode is turned off. So I'm going to turn it on again. And selecting 220 for the speed. So it's going to be automatically. Let's say we drop our speed to 200 or 200. And turn a little bit to right. We have still 23.5 nautical miles for the runway 05, and at this procedure we have to slow down our speed and use the flaps. And as you can see, we are dropping our speed to 200 knots. And from there we're gonna slow to 180, and then we're gonna use flap 1 or maybe 2. So that's a sign for crossing 3,000 feet, and we're gonna descend further to 2,600 feet. that's the sign that we have to go for 1,000 feet to 2,600 feet. Selecting 180. And there it is, 2,600 feet. Turn to left for the ILS approach. Selecting 015 and pressing on the APP button. And we can make the approach and make sure the ILS frequency 110.30 is at the active mode, left and right. As you can see, it's done. And then you can make sure you're gonna make an ILS approach. Our speed is reached 200, so we're lowering the gear and the flap speeds. Flap 1. Selecting 160 knots. Flap 5. And there is the localizer alive. There it is. And the glide slope is also alive. And lowering the speed to 141. And selecting flap 10. Select flap 15. Ayşulix Edits, thank you very much. Buray Yalçın, iyi uçuşlar kaptan demiş. Teşekkürler kaptan, inişe geçiyoruz. Flap fully. We're gonna use flap 30, so set flap 30. And as you can see, we can nothing seeing, but still established on the ILS 05, and we'll report that. And we're gonna send that message for other traffic at the airport. So we captured the glide path and we are descending from 2,600 feet. Let's do the landing checklist. Engine start switches, we turn that on. Continuous, left and right. Speed brake, turning to arm. Set to arm. And landing gear down. 3 green lights done. Flaps, green lights done. And landing checklist completed. And still we can nothing seeing. There is no runway at this moment. Continuing descending. Evet kaptan, deniz üzerinde uçuyoruz şu an. Yaklaşık 500 metre yükseklikteyiz. Pisti görene kadar uçacağız. Pisti gördüğümüz an inişe geçeceğiz. Göremezsek pas geçeceğiz ve tekrardan deneyeceğiz. Bayağı bir karanlık yani. And there's the runway in sight. Evet arkadaşlar, pist gözükmüştür. İnişe geçeceğiz. 05 pistine. Yaklaşık 300 metre kaldı inişe. Yüksekliğimiz şu an 300 metre. Landing. We're gonna use full autopilot. So only what you have to do is reverse the throttles, and that's it. Evet hocam, ineriz. Full otomatik iniyoruz çünkü. Spoilers and reverse thrust set. $60 knots. Retracting flaps. Exiting runway. Landing lights turn off. APU start. Turn off strobe lights, steady lights on. Turn off standby.
Sayın yolcularımız, kemer ikaz ışıkları sönünceye kadar kemerlerinizi çözmeyiniz ve yerlerinizden kalkmayınız. Lütfen inerken el bagajlarınızı yanınıza almayı unutmayınız. Uçuşunuzun iyi geçmiş olduğunu umuyor ve sizlerle yeniden karşılaşmayı diliyoruz. Türk Hava Yolları ile uçtuğunuz için teşekkür ederiz.
Evet, inişte biraz sorun yarattı. Bazen oluyor işte, otomatik inmeye çalıştık. Biraz sorun yaşadık inişte. O yüzden kapattım son anda. Tek manuel indim. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome at Istanbul airport. Here is your captain, BullBosphorus speaking. Zulu time 60 to 22. That's our landing time, and temperature is 1 degrees at the airfield. And thank you for choosing Turkish Airlines, and hope you enjoy the flight. See you next time with Turkish Airlines. And let's look where we can park, at the blocks or at the gate. Say what do you want to see, let's say to the gates or to the parking. Evet, pilot FC, trafik şu an kalabalık değil. Online uçtuğumuza dahil ne yazık ki biraz sakin. Ama online uçuyoruz, yani her an bir uçak çıkabilir karşımıza. So turning on the APU Gen bus. Let's park to 215. Evet, maalesef gate'ler boş. Galiba tek enayi biziz bu havaalanında. Evet arkadaşlar, havaalanımıza gelmiş bulunmaktayız. Atatürk Havaalanı. Hoş geldiniz. Dışarısı 1 derece, bayağı bir soğuk. Şöyle duralım. Tamam abicim. Parking brake set. Turn off engine 1 and 2. Turn off taxi lights. And we did the after landing checklist. The flaps was retracted, speed brakes was down in the tent, stabilizer trim set, auto brake off, flight directors we turn it off, turned off, and engine start switches as required, we turn it off. Position lights to steady, almost steady, and landing lights turned off at the runway. And doing the shutdown checklist, parking brakes are set, engine start levers cut off, passenger signs turning off, turned off. Hydraulic panel as required, we don't need it, so we turn it off. Electric 1, 2 turned off. And anti-ice turning off. Prop heat turned off. Window heat turned off. IRS as required, we let it on. Fuel pumps turned off. Anti-collision light turned off. Turned off. Transponder standby. Standby. And packs as required. And let's say we're gonna turn it off. Turned off. Okay. Shutdown checklist complete. And we have the last checklist, and that's the secure checklist, but I'm gonna not doing this because then the cabin all lights turned off, and that's not what I want to do. So that was the flight TK841, and I hope you enjoyed this flight. And let's say that the baggage is coming now to this way. Yes, it's coming. Oh, there is another plane. Diğer trafik gidiyor, gördüğünüz gibi Türk Hava Yolları 777. And it's a little bit snowy at the outside. Evet kaptan, online uçuyoruz. Ivao'dan. Tabi seyrek olur. Trafik ne zaman olursa o zaman trafik vardır yani. Bunu ben seçmiyorum maalesef. Pilot FG demiş, bir dahaki yayında rica etsek 777 uçarız. Veya Airbus. Hocam ben Airbus uçakları hiç uçmuyorum. Sadece PMDG yani Boeing uçakları uçuyorum. İsterseniz 777 ile bir uçuş yapabiliriz. Evet, gerçek gibi. İşte o şans meselesi, artık kim gelirse onu görürüz. Yes. So people, thank you for watching this flight and hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you like it and like the video. Say it to your friends, share it to your friends, and to aviation lovers, you know. Doing this flights in the weeks, and Saturday placing an exciting video from FSX or from real aviation. So enjoy that. Thank you very much and see you next time. Evet kaptanlar, izlediğiniz için çok teşekkürler. Beni YouTube kanalına eklemeye unutmayın. Full uçuşlarımız var. Bu 7. uçuşumuzdu. Antalya'dan İstanbul. Ve 8. uçuşumuzda isteklerinizi yazın. Ona göre bir uçuş yapalım. 8. uçuş ne olsun? Ona göre bir uçuş yaparız. Kanalıma abone olmayı unutmayın. Teşekkürler. Ve hepinize iyi akşamlar dilerim.